to call Dr. Tanya Jain, and she'll be talking about surgical challenges in ectopia lentis. So Tanya is a senior vitreoretina consultant with Shroff Charity Hospital, Delhi, and she'll be taking over.
Hello, I'm the last speaker for this session, and so I'll be talking about ectopia lentis, techniques that work. So we all know that ectopia lentis refers to dislocation of the natural crystalline lens. This could be mostly congenital, some metabolic disorders, traumatic, or consecutive or spontaneous. The most common the most commonly what we find in our clinics are is the Marfan syndrome, where usually the dislocation is superotemporally, homocystinuria, where the dislocation is inferonasally, and Weil Marchesani, where the dislocation is into the anterior chamber. So they do pose a lot of problems like zonular weakness, lenticular curvature changes, lenticular myopia and astigmatism, loss of posterior capsular support, cataracts, glaucoma, and they may be associated with high myopia, especially the Marfanoid patients. So my advice to everybody sitting here is never just jump to surgery in these patients. If the patient is getting corrected well with your glasses, amblyopia management, especially if the child is coming to you early, is very, very important. Do the refraction both in the phakic and the aphakic zones. And if the patient is complaining of diplopia, then you should think of surgery. So most of the times, if the patient is a bit of an adult, I usually say the patient should ask for the surgery rather than me advising surgeries, because these are syndromic eyes. The anatomy and everything is very, very different from a normal eye. So when should you operate? Significant or progressive lens subluxation, poor BCVA despite conservative management, visual impairment not correctable with glasses, imminent anterior or posterior dislocations, lens-induced complications, visually significant cataract, or it is associated with retinal detachment. To make it a bit simple for you, the young patient not correcting or getting into amblyopia, there is cataract, completely dislocated lens, or RD. And in older patients, if there is cataract, diplopia, complete dislocation into the AC or the vitreous, and again if there is RD. There is no ideal time. As I said, in kids we have to prevent amblyopia, and in adults there should be these indications that we just discussed. So the main thing that we've come here for is what procedure do we follow. So if the dislocation is less, we can go ahead with doing a CTR or a modified CTR or Sione's ring. And if the dislocation is more, or the lens is in the AC or in the vitreous cavity, we go ahead with a pars plana lensectomy and vitrectomy, followed by a secondary IOL implantation. So this is a patient. This surgery was done by one of our anterior segment surgeons. So you can see that the dislocation here is approximately, let's say, 5 to 6 clock hours. So after doing a capsular excess, what she's done is use the iris hooks to basically support the IOL, the bag of the natural lens, and after performing a phacoemulsification, uh, a CTR has been placed, and this CTR has been put in place by the railroad technique. Along with that, there is a small iridodialysis also there, and she's done a railroad technique for the iridodialysis repair as well, and then planted the IOL in the back. So if you are such a daring and a good surgeon, this definitely works. But if you're a vitreoretina surgeon like me, what I do is we do a pars plana lensectomy. So this is a 26-year-old patient who came to us with diminution of vision in both the eyes. So you can see the high lenticular myopia this patient had, and if you see here, this patient probably had a Weil Marchesani, where the lens was completely getting dislocated into the AC. It was actually touching the endothelium, and you can see the corneal opacity here. Sorry, okay. Yeah. And the patient had short stature and short and stubby fingers. So we went ahead with the surgery because the patient's IOP was also rising. So after doing a peritomy, we made the scleral flaps. So we prefer to make these flaps before entering into the eye, because at this point there's no hypotony. The eye is very, the DT is good, so it is of course easier to make these tunnels. Um, Using the iris hook, a pars plana lens, the pupil was dilated and a pars plana lensectomy was done. There was some touching of the endothelium, so that was removed. So as I said, the anatomy is very different in these. The PVD induction was particularly difficult, but doing a complete vitrectomy is important. There was some degeneration, so we lasered them also. So after fashioning a scleral tunnel, the X-knit technique which Dr. Rahul has shown, we just did that. We took a 3-piece IOL. The leading haptic was put in the 26 gauge needle and exteriorized, and similarly for the other one. And very good outcomes and a very happy patient with a controlled IOP, because now the lens is not touching the endothelium. My last case, this is a Marfanoid kid who had come. So you can see that the lens has completely is dislocated, probably more than 10 clock hours in this patient. So after fashioning the scleral pockets, a pars plana lensectomy was done. As a rule of thumb, these patients are usually very high myopes. I always try to do a good PVD induction and even a prophylactic 360-degree lasers, because if getting bad RDs in these patients are very difficult to manage. And this patient is also doing very well. We put a secondary, we put a IOL using again the same X-knit technique, and good outcomes in this patient also. So I can just show you this. Yeah. Just tuck in the haptics and suture the eye. So to conclude, do surgery only when indicated, when the vision is not improving. Multiple IL option exists, multiple techniques exist, whatever works in your hands. SFIL and iris claw are the most commonly used secondary IOLs, and surgical approach depends upon age, zonular support, and surgeon expertise. Thank you.
I think very well presented, Tanya. Thank you so much. We are open to taking up questions. Anybody? So I would like to thank all my team for a wonderful IC. I think we'll have a photo, I think.
And thank you everybody for attending our IC.